She notices it first in her chest. An unsteady pressure like a breath caught halfway through deciding whether to leave or stay. The cafe is loud enough to blur into background noise, but Maya's laugh cuts clean through it, bright and careless, and Christine feels something tighten behind her ribs before she can stop it. Maya is leaning forward, elbows on the small round table, sleeves pushed up. The light from the window catches the faint freckle near her wrist, the one Christine has traced with her eyes more times than she can admit, even to herself. Steam rises from their mugs. Coffee, cinnamon, the sweet bitter smell that clings to coats and hair. Outside it's late afternoon, winter light pale and undecided. Christine wraps both hands around her cup, not to drink, just to have something to hold. The ceramic is warm. She keeps her gaze on the surface of the coffee until Maya says her name. "Hey," Maya says softer now. "You okay?" Christine looks up too fast. Their eyes meet, and for a fraction of a second the rest of the room recedes, as if someone has lowered the volume on everything else. Maya's expression is open, familiar, threaded with concern. The same face Christine has known for years, somehow newly dangerous. "Yeah," Christine says. The word lands too quickly. She clears her throat. "Just tired." Maya studies her for a beat longer than necessary. Christine feels it like a hand placed lightly at the base of her spine. Then Maya nods, accepts it, reaches for her mug. When Maya's fingers curl around the handle, Christine's attention follows the movement without permission. The way her knuckles pale slightly. The faint ring indentation still visible from earlier, though the ring itself is gone. That detail sticks. Christine doesn't know why. They talk about nothing urgent. A shared class assignment. A joke about their professor's stubborn refusal to retire. Maya tells a story about getting lost on the bus the night before, about ending up 2 neighborhoods away and laughing at herself while walking back in the cold. Christine listens, nods at the right places, smiles when she's supposed to. It feels like performing her own life from a slight distance. At some point, Maya's knee brushes hers under the table. The contact is brief, accidental, almost nothing. Christine's breath stutters anyway. She tells herself it's reflex, that it doesn't mean anything. She doesn't move away. Neither does Maya. They finish their drinks. The cafe grows busier as evening creeps in. When they stand, Maya reaches for Christine's coat from the back of the chair, hands it to her with a familiar, careless intimacy. Their fingers touch. This time Christine feels it all the way up her arm. Outside the air is sharp. The sky has gone flat and metallic, streetlights already glowing. They walk side by side, steps falling into an easy rhythm they've perfected without noticing. Christine shoves her hands into her pockets, trying to ground herself in the cold. "You're quiet today," Maya says. "Am I?" "A little." Maya smiles, nudges her shoulder gently. "It's not a crime." Christine exhales, watches her breath fog between them. "Just thinking." Maya hums. "Dangerous hobby." They laugh and the sound settles something briefly. They pass a shop window, glass reflecting them back. 2 silhouettes close enough that their coats brush with every step. Christine looks away quickly, unsettled by how right it looks. They reach the corner where they usually part ways, but Maya slows, hesitates. Christine's pulse jumps. She tells herself not to anticipate, not to lean into whatever this feeling is. The street is quiet here, lit by a single flickering lamp. Somewhere nearby, music pulses faintly through brick. "I'm actually meeting someone," Maya says, casual but with an undercurrent Christine doesn't miss. "Tonight." "Oh." The word slips out before Christine can soften it. She adds too quickly, "Nice." Maya watches her face, unreadable. "Yeah." She seems good. Christine nods, stares at the uneven patch of sidewalk between them. She feels stupidly exposed, like something essential has been misplaced. The idea of Maya with someone else lands wrong, heavy and sharp. He forces a smile. "I hope it goes well." Maya steps closer, close enough that Christine can smell her shampoo. Something clean and faintly floral, familiar enough to feel like home. "You sure you're okay?" Christine wants to say yes. Wants to mean it. Instead there's a silence that stretches, delicate and loaded. She becomes acutely aware of the space between them, of how little it would take to cross it. "I'm fine," she says, finally quieter. It doesn't sound convincing even to her. Maya nods again, but her eyes linger. For a moment neither of them moves. Then Maya reaches out, adjusts the scarf at Christine's neck, fingers brushing skin with deliberate care. The touch is brief, intimate, unnecessary. Christine's breath catches. Maya drops her hand as if realizing something too late. "I'll text you later," Maya says. "Yeah," Christine replies. "Of course." Maya steps back, gives her a small smile, then turns and walks away. Christine watches until she disappears around the corner. Only then does she let out the breath she's been holding. She walks home alone, the city pressing in around her. Her apartment is quiet, dim. She drops her keys on the counter, leans back against the door, eyes closed. The scent of Maya's shampoo still clings faintly to her scarf. Christine presses her fingers to the fabric, then stills, startled by herself. Her phone buzzes an hour later. A message from Maya. "Made it. I'll tell you about it later." Christine stares at the screen. Her chest tightens again, sharper this time. She types a response, deletes it, types again. "Have fun." She sends it before she can reconsider. She sinks onto the couch, curls her legs beneath her, and tries to focus on the muted hum of the city outside. The thought returns, unwanted and persistent. When did this start to hurt? She closes her eyes, the question echoing without an answer, and realizes she doesn't know how to imagine herself without Maya anywhere in the frame. She notices the missed call first, then the message thread that came in while she was in the shower. Maya's name lighting the screen like a nervous pulse in the dark room. Christine sits on the edge of her bed with damp hair cooling on her neck, phone warm in her palm. The apartment is quiet in the way that makes every sound feel intimate. The refrigerator cycling on, the distant hush of traffic. "You up? Long night. I miss you. Can I come over tomorrow? I'll bring pastries as a bribe." Christine types "it's fine" and deletes it. Types "how was it?" and deletes that too. Her throat tightens with a disobedient ache. In the end she writes, "Tomorrow. I have to finish the stats problem set." The reply comes fast. "Perfect. I'll be your emotional support and your distraction." Mostly support. Christine exhales a small laugh that doesn't quite land. She sets the phone down and presses her palm to her sternum as if she can keep herself from slipping. The next afternoon, the campus library is bright and cold, all glass and fluorescent light. Christine claims a corner table near the window, spreads her notes out like a defensive perimeter. Maya arrives with a paper bag in one hand and her scarf in the other, cheeks pink from the wind. "I came bearing sugar and regret," she says, sliding into the chair across from Christine. "Regret?" Christine asks, already smiling despite herself. Maya leans forward, lowers her voice like it's a secret. "I regret ever thinking I could survive a full day without seeing you. It's a joke." Christine's brain knows that. Her chest, stubborn as ever, doesn't. They work in companionable quiet. Pens scratch. Pages turn. Maya frowns at a line of numbers, then brightens with sudden understanding and makes a triumphant little sound that makes Christine laugh under her breath. Every so often Maya nudges Christine's notes into a neater stack, a small habit, almost domestic. The motion repeats, paper sliding, Maya's fingers grazing Christine's knuckles by accident, then not quite by accident. "Stop organizing my chaos," Christine murmurs. "I'm not organizing," Maya whispers back. "I'm curating." Christine shakes her head, amused. "Curating?" Maya's eyes lift to her face. "You're welcome." A microshift. Maya's phone buzzes softly against the table. The screen lights. A name Christine doesn't recognize sits there like a pebble dropped into still water. Maya flips the phone over without reading it. "Sorry," she says too quickly. Christine keeps her voice even. "It's fine." Maya's smile returns, but thinner. She picks up her pencil again as if nothing happened. Christine tries to do the same, but her attention sticks in the wrong places. The way Maya presses her lips when she's thinking, the faint trace of perfume under her scarf that isn't the shampoo Christine knows. Christine stares at her page, counts the numbers twice, still gets them wrong. "You're spiraling," Maya says gently. "I'm not." Maya reaches across the table, takes Christine's eraser, flips it in her fingers like a coin. "Breathe. I'm not letting you drown in statistics." Christine tries to laugh. Comes out small. "What would I do without you?" Maya's eyes soften. "You'd be fine," she says, then quieter, "but I like being here." Christine's breath catches on the word like. Maya returns the eraser, her fingertips brushing Christine's wrist. Light, lingering a fraction too long. Late afternoon, Maya declares a ceremonial break and leads Christine toward the vending machines. The hallway is narrow, the hum of the lights louder here. Maya stands too close while they stare at the options like it matters. What do you want? Maya asks. I don't care. Maya scoffs. Liar. Pretzels. She presses the buttons with exaggerated seriousness. The machine rattles and drops the bag. Maya bends, grabs it, then holds it out with a little bow. Christine takes it. Their fingers meet on the crinkly plastic. The contact sends a small, stupid spark up her arm. They walk back sharing pretzels, hands brushing when they reach into the bag. Once, Maya's hand closes lightly over Christine's for half a second, as if steadying her. Christine doesn't pull away. Back at the table, the light outside dims as clouds slide over the sun. A silence stretches long enough to become its own thing. Maya stares at a line of text, not reading. Christine watches Maya's profile, the curve of her cheek, the shadow under her eyelashes, and feels her own thoughts tilt into dangerous territory. Maya, she says, and doesn't know what comes next. Maya turns slowly. Yeah. Christine's mouth goes dry. She grabs the safest thing within reach. Did you understand question 4? I think I'm missing something. Maya's lips part like she's about to tease her, then she doesn't. Come here, she says. She slides her chair closer to look at Christine's page. Their knees touch. Their shoulders nearly do. Maya points at the equation, speaking in a low voice that makes Christine lean in. Christine hears the explanation, but what she feels is the warmth of Maya's thigh against hers, the faint scent at her neck, the soft brush of air when Maya turns her head. Christine grips her pen harder than necessary. They finish just as the sky outside turns to early evening. Maya's eyes flick to the clock and something crosses her face. Guilt, reluctance, obligation. The edge of an external life Christine can't control. I have to go, Maya says, too casual. Christine keeps her gaze on the paper. Meeting someone. It isn't a question. Maya's silence answers anyway. Yeah, Maya says softly. Just for a bit. Christine nods like she's fine. Okay. Maya hesitates, then reaches out and, without thinking, adjusts Christine's scarf, the same small gesture from the night before. Her fingers brush Christine's throat through the fabric. Warmth blooms under Christine's skin. Maya's hand stills. For a second their faces are close enough that the next inch would change everything. Maya's eyes drop to Christine's mouth, then lift again, startled by herself. Christine doesn't move. She can't tell if she's holding back or holding on. Maya lets her hand fall away slowly, as if setting something down carefully. I'll come by later, Maya says, voice lower. After. If you're home. Christine swallows. Yeah. I'll be home. Maya gives her a look that feels like a postponed confession, then stands and gathers her things. Before she goes, she squeezes Christine's shoulder once. Firm, grounding, a promise she won't say out loud. Then she's gone, the chair across from Christine still angled toward her, as if it expects her to return. Christine sits there longer than she should, numbers blurring into meaninglessness. She can still feel the ghost of Maya's fingertips at her throat. Her phone buzzes. A message from Maya. Later. I mean it. Don't disappear on me. Christine's thumb hovers, heart beating too hard for something that isn't supposed to be happening. She types and sends. She gathers her papers with hands that don't feel entirely like her own, and walks out into the cold evening. At home, the heater clicks and fails to commit. Christine makes tea anyway, the kettle's small roar filling the kitchen. The scarf lies draped over a chair like an accusation. When the buzzer finally sounds, she almost drops her mug. Maya stands in the hallway, coat unbuttoned, cheeks flushed from the cold. She steps inside and the narrow entryway forces their shoulders to brush. Christine feels it like a flare. I'm not staying long, Maya says. I meant what I said. They drift to the kitchen because it's always the kitchen. They stand too close at the counter, waiting for the tea to steep, watching steam rise. Maya's knee bumps Christine's, nowhere to pretend it's accidental. A silence stretches, thick and familiar. Maya's gaze catches on the scarf, and without asking she straightens it, smoothing the fabric with the same careful motion she used at Christine's throat earlier. The repeated gesture makes Christine's pulse jump. You don't have to, Christine whispers. I know. Maya's voice is quiet. I like taking care of you. Maya steps back as if startled by her own honesty. Tomorrow, she says quickly. Can we do tomorrow? Just us. No studying. No other plans. Christine nods because if she speaks she might fall through the floor. Tomorrow. Maya moves toward the door, hesitates, turns back like she might close the distance. He doesn't. She only taps 2 fingers to Christine's wrist. Barely there, a deferred promise written in skin. Then leaves, taking the cold with her and leaving the warmth behind. Christine stands alone, tea cooling, scarf still shaped by Maya's hands. Tomorrow, she tells herself. It doesn't feel like safety. The rain starts without warning. Hard, sudden, drumming against the windows like an interruption that won't apologize. Christine notices it as she's reaching for a second mug, her fingers hesitating when thunder follows, low and distant. The apartment lights flicker once, twice, then settle. She exhales, unaware she was holding her breath. Maya stands near the window, coat already off, sleeves pushed up. She watches the rain with an expression that feels too thoughtful for the weather alone. Looks like we're not going anywhere, Maya says. Christine nods. I didn't plan to. The kitchen feels smaller tonight. Warmer. The air smells faintly of tea and something citrusy. Maya's perfume, unfamiliar enough to make Christine notice it differently. They move around each other with the careful choreography of people who know each other's habits too well. Passing the kettle, reaching for spoons, pausing when their paths cross too closely. Their hands brush. They both stop. Sorry, they say at the same time. Maya laughs, quiet and surprised. Christine smiles back, the tension easing for a breath. Then it returns, subtler, threaded through everything. They carry their mugs to the living room. The couch is narrow. They sit at opposite ends at first, space between them like a decision they're pretending hasn't been made yet. Rain presses harder against the glass. The heater clicks on, then off again. Christine tucks her feet under herself. Your night, she says, and immediately regrets it. Maya glances over, searching her face. You don't have to. I want to know, Christine says quickly. I think. Pause. Maya shifts closer, not touching yet. It was fine, she says carefully. She's nice. Easy to talk to. Christine nods, eyes on her mug. That's good. It should be, Maya adds, quieter. But it felt like I was waiting for something that wasn't there. Christine's chest tightens. She risks a glance. Maya's gaze is fixed on the rain again, jaw set. Another micro-shift. Silence stretches, becomes dense. Christine can hear her own heartbeat. She feels the warmth of Maya's body even without contact. Maya, she says and stops. Maya turns. Yeah. Christine swallows. Do you ever feel like things are already decided even if you haven't said them out loud? Maya studies her. The look is soft, open, unguarded. All the time. They sit closer now, close enough that their shoulders brush when Christine breathes in. She doesn't pull away. Neither does Maya. The power goes out. The room drops into sudden darkness, punctuated only by the glow from the street lamp outside, filtered through rain. Christine startles, her hand lifting instinctively. Maya's fingers close around her wrist, steady and warm. It's okay, Maya says softly. Christine's breath comes shallow. She can feel the pulse under Maya's thumb. Maya doesn't let go. They wait. The hum of the city feels farther away. The rain fills the silence. Maya's hand loosens but doesn't release. Christine turns her wrist slightly, a mirrored movement, silent permission. Their fingers lace, tentative then firm. You can tell me to stop, Maya says. Her voice is low, careful. Christine meets her eyes in the half-light. Don't. The word surprises them both. Maya exhales, something like relief flickering across her face. She shifts closer, knees touching now, bodies angled toward each other. Christine feels the heat of her, the subtle tremor in her hand. They sit like that for a long moment, breathing shared air, neither moving forward nor away. The restraint is deliberate, almost reverent. Maya lifts her free hand slowly, pauses inches from Christine's cheek. She waits. Christine leans into the touch. Maya's fingers cup her jaw, thumb brushing just below her ear. The contact sends a quiet shiver through Christine, not sharp but deep, settling. Their foreheads touch lightly. Christine closes her eyes. She can feel Maya's breath, warm and uneven, against her mouth. This could change things, Maya murmurs. Christine nods, a small movement. I know. Another pause. The world narrows to this space, this choice. Maya leans in the last inch, slow enough that Christine could pull back. He doesn't. The kiss is soft, almost questioning. Lips meeting, parting, meeting again with a careful warmth. It tastes like tea and rain and something electric Christine doesn't have words for yet. Maya's hand stays at her jaw, steady, grounding. Christine's free hand slides to Maya's shoulder, fingers curling into fabric. They break apart only slightly, foreheads still touching. Christine's chest rises and falls too fast. She opens her eyes. Maya's are dark, searching. That was... Maya starts, then stops. Christine laughs quietly, breathless. Yeah. They sit back a fraction, just enough to breathe. The rain keeps falling. Somewhere, a car passes, tires hissing on wet pavement. The aftermath settles in waves. Warmth, then fear, then a fierce, tender joy that makes Christine's eyes sting. She presses her lips together, grounding herself. Maya watches her, expression unreadable. We don't have to do anything else tonight, she says gently. We can just be. Christine nods, grateful for the space. I'd like that. They shift so they're sitting side by side now, knees still touching, hands resting between them on the cushion. Maya's thumb traces a slow, absent line along Christine's knuckle, repeating the gesture from earlier, a sensory anchor that makes Christine's breath hitch again. Minutes pass. The power hums back on softly, lights flickering before settling. Neither of them moves to turn anything on. The dim feels safer. Maya's phone buzzes on the coffee table. The sound cuts through the quiet like a crack. Maya glances at it, then away. Christine notices the name this time. The same one from before. A consequence, immediate and sharp. Maya's hand stills. She withdraws it slowly, as if afraid of breaking something fragile. I should go, she says, voice tight. I need to deal with this. Christine's chest aches, but she nods. Okay. Maya stands, hesitation written into every movement. At the door, she turns back, eyes lingering on Christine with a mixture of longing and conflict. This doesn't disappear, Maya says softly. Even if it scares me. Christine meets her gaze, steady despite the uncertainty blooming inside her. I know. Maya leaves, the door closing with a quiet finality that echoes too loud in the small apartment. Christine sinks back onto the couch, fingers brushing her lips, still warm from the kiss. The rain has slowed, but it hasn't stopped. Neither has the ache. The first thing Christine notices is how quiet everything feels without Maya's weight in the room. Not silent. Never that. But emptied in a specific way, like a chair pulled back from the table and left that way too long. The couch still holds the faint impression of where Maya sat. Christine doesn't touch it. She stands by the window instead, watching the street below slick with leftover rain, streetlights blurring into soft halos. Her phone lies face down on the counter. She tells herself that if Maya wanted to say something, she would have already. That this space is intentional, respectful, necessary. The lie settles badly in her chest. 2 days pass like that, thin, stretched, filled with unfinished thoughts. They exchange messages that hover safely at the edges of normal. A shared joke about a class deadline, a photo of a terrible campus poster, a "did you eat?" that pretends not to mean more than it does. Nothing about the kiss. Christine rereads the messages at night, curled on her bed with the lamp low. He types, "Can we talk?" and deletes it. Types, "I keep thinking about," and deletes that too. Her thumb aches from restraint. When Maya finally asks if she wants to come over to study, Christine says yes too fast. Maya's apartment is warmer than Christine remembers, radiator ticking softly in protest. The familiar scent of coffee grounds and clean laundry wraps around her the moment she steps inside. Maya stands a little too far away, arms crossed loosely, like she's holding herself together by habit. "Hey," Maya says. "Hey." They look at each other a beat too long. Then Maya steps aside, gestures Christine in. They set up at the small kitchen table. Books open. Pens aligned. The same ritual as always, but altered, like a melody played in a different key. Every movement is careful. Every brush avoided, then noticed when it almost happens. A micro shift. Maya laughs at something Christine says, genuine and bright, and for a second everything relaxes. Christine feels her shoulders drop. She smiles back, warmth blooming before she can stop it. Then Maya's phone buzzes on the counter. She doesn't look at it. Christine does. The same name flashes across the screen. Christine's smile fades quietly. She doesn't comment. She focuses on the page in front of her, letters swimming. "You don't have to ignore it," she says, voice neutral. Maya stiffens. "I know." A pause stretches. The radiator clicks. Outside, a car door slams. Maya trails off, then exhales. "I don't know how to exist in two realities at once." Christine looks up. Maya isn't meeting her eyes. Something tightens, painful and honest. "Then maybe you shouldn't." The words come out softer than she expects, but they land hard anyway. Maya finally looks at her. There's guilt there. Fear. Something like relief, quickly buried. "That's not fair," Maya says quietly. Christine nods. "I know." Another silence. Heavier now. They try to study. It doesn't work. Pages turn without meaning. Maya taps her pen against the table in a rhythm that matches Christine's pulse. Pause. Finally, Maya pushes her chair back slightly. Not away, just enough to breathe. "Christine," she says, careful. "About the other night." Christine's breath catches. She keeps her gaze on the margin of her notebook. "You don't have to explain." "I want to," Maya says. Then after a beat, "I think." Christine looks up then. "Do you?" Maya's mouth opens. Closes. She runs a hand through her hair, a familiar gesture transformed by tension. "I didn't plan for it," Maya says. "Any of it. And now I feel like no matter what I do, I'm hurting someone." Christine swallows. "Including yourself." Maya lets out a small, humorless laugh. "Especially myself." A long pause. Christine reaches for her mug just to give her hands something to do. The ceramic is warm. Grounding. "I'm scared," Maya admits, barely above a whisper. "If I step fully into this, I don't know how to step back." Christine's chest aches with the truth of it. "I don't know how to pretend we didn't cross something." Their eyes meet. The air between them feels charged again. Not with heat this time, but weight. Maya stands abruptly. "I need some air." She moves to the window, opens it a crack. Cold slips in, sharp and clarifying. Christine stays seated, giving space even as every instinct pulls her closer. From across the room, Maya says, "She asked me where I was the other night." Christine's stomach drops. "What did you say?" Maya closes her eyes. "That I was with you." Silence lands, heavy and irrevocable. Christine's voice is steady, though it costs her. And I didn't lie," Maya says. "But I didn't tell the truth either." Christine nods slowly. She understands that space. She lives there too. Maya turns back to her, eyes shining with something like apology. "I don't want to lose you." Christine feels the old reflex rise. The instinct to reassure, to smooth things over, to make herself smaller so Maya can feel safer. She fights it. "I don't want to lose myself," she says instead. The words surprise them both. Maya crosses the room in 2 slow steps, then stops, leaving a deliberate distance between them. She doesn't touch. Doesn't ask to. "I see you," Maya says softly. I don't know if I'm brave enough yet." Christine lets the truth settle. "It hurts, but it's clean. I can't keep living in almost," she says. "It's starting to feel like disappearing." Maya flinches as if struck. Her hand lifts, then falls back to her side, withdrawn before it can reach. "I'm not asking you to choose right now," Christine adds, gentler. "I just need to know you're not pretending this is nothing." Maya nods, eyes wet. "I could never pretend that." They stand there suspended. The radiator clicks again. The cold air brushes Christine's ankles. Maya's phone buzzes once more on the counter. Maya looks at it this time. Then she turns the screen face down. "I need time," she says. "Not to avoid this. To figure out how to step into it without destroying everything." Christine closes her eyes for a second, then opens them. "Time isn't neutral," she says quietly. "It does things whether we choose or not." Maya absorbs that. She nods slow. They move toward the door together, unspoken agreement guiding them. At the threshold, Maya pauses, hand on the frame. Christine stops just behind her, close enough to feel warmth, not close enough to touch. Maya turns halfway. "Tomorrow," she says. "Can we talk tomorrow?" Christine hesitates, feels the pull, the risk. She nods once. Tomorrow. Maya opens the door, then stops again as if something essential is lodged between her ribs. I almost wish I hadn't kissed you, she says, voice breaking just slightly. Because now I know. Christine's heart thuds painfully. Me too, she says. But I don't regret it. Maya gives her a look full of longing and restraint, then steps back. The door closes softly, not quite final. Christine stands alone in the hallway, keys heavy in her hand. Later that night, she sits on her bed, phone glowing in the dark. She types a message, "I need more than waiting," and stares at it until her eyes blur. She deletes it. The screen goes dark. The morning light arrives quietly, pale and undecided, sliding through the blinds and settling across Christine's floor like it isn't sure it's welcome yet. She's been awake for a while. Not restless, just alert, as if something important might happen if she blinks at the wrong moment. Her phone rests on the nightstand, screen dark, heavier than it should be for such a small thing. When it finally lights up, she doesn't reach for it right away. She lets the vibration fade, lets the silence stretch. Then she exhales and picks it up. "Maya, can we meet today?" Not to circle it. To be honest. Christine closes her eyes. The words land gently and all at once, like snow that hides nothing and everything. As she types. After a moment she adds, "Where?" The reply comes slower this time. "The park. The bench by the old fountain." Christine's breath catches, not with fear exactly but with recognition. That bench has held years of them. Shared coffees, shared notes, shared nothing moments that mattered anyway. Feels right. Feels dangerous. She showers, dresses with deliberate care, wraps her scarf around her neck. The same one Maya adjusted without asking, again and again, as if touching Christine's throat was a language she didn't know she spoke. Outside the air is cold but not cruel. The sky is thin and bright. Maya is already there when Christine arrives, standing instead of sitting, hands tucked into her coat pockets. She looks different, not changed exactly but newly present. When she sees Christine, her shoulders drop, like she's been holding them too high for too long. "Hey," Maya says. "Hey." They don't hug. They don't step closer. They let the space between them exist as its own thing. They sit side by side on the bench, knees almost touching. The fountain behind them is dry this time of year, stone basin holding only fallen leaves and yesterday's rain. A couple passes by with a dog. Somewhere a child laughs. Maya takes a breath, lets it out slowly. "I told her." Christine turns, startled. "You did?" Maya nods. "Not everything, but enough. I told her I'm not in the place I said I was. That there's someone else already shaping my days." Christine's chest tightens, not with triumph, not with relief alone, but with the weight of what that costs. How did she take it? Maya's mouth curves into something sad and honest. She was hurt, and kind, and angry in the way that means she deserved better timing. Christine absorbs that quietly. "And you?" Maya looks at her, then really looks. Her eyes are clear even as they shine. "I feel like I finally stopped lying with my body while my mouth stayed quiet." A silence opens between them, not empty, not awkward. Just space enough for truth to settle. "I was afraid," Maya continues, "of ruining what we had. Of finding out I wanted more than I could survive. But pretending I didn't want you was worse. It was hollowing me out." Christine swallows. "I thought if I loved you carefully enough, I could make it stay friendship-shaped." Maya smiles softly. "You were never careful with me. Just quiet." Christine laughs once, breathless. That tracks. Their shoulders brush. Neither of them moves away. "I don't want you to feel like you have to choose me to prove something," Christine says. "I just need you to choose yourself honestly. Even if that scares me." Maya's hand shifts on the bench between them, fingers curling then uncurling. "What scares me more," she says, "is losing you by staying still." She turns fully now. Christine follows, their knees touching, heat transferring through wool and denim. Maya lifts her hand slowly, pauses midair, waiting. Christine nods. Maya's fingers rest against Christine's scarf, the familiar gesture transformed into something deliberate. She smooths the fabric once, twice, then lets her thumb linger at the hollow of Christine's throat, warm and steady. "This," Maya murmurs, "this has been in my hands longer than I admitted." Christine's breath shivers. She leans in just enough to share air. Then don't put it down again. The kiss comes quietly. No urgency. Just lips meeting, parting, returning with a softness that feels earned. It's warmer than the first, sure. Not because doubt is gone, but because it's been named. Christine's hand slides to Maya's coat sleeve, fingers pressing there, grounding herself in the reality of it. They separate slowly, foreheads touching, breath mingling. The park keeps moving around them, indifferent and kind. They stay like that for a while. Long enough that the moment doesn't feel like it needs to rush into something else. Later they walk together without destination, steps sinking the way they always have. They stop for coffee from a cart, paper cups warming their palms. Christine notices how Maya angles her body slightly toward her now, unconsciously. How she no longer corrects it. They talk about ordinary things. An upcoming exam, a book Maya started and didn't finish, the way winter makes everything feel more honest somehow. Between sentences, there are pauses that feel newly comfortable. At Christine's building, they hesitate again. Not because they don't know what they want, but because they're learning how to enter it gently. Inside, coats are hung side by side. Shoes kicked off. The apartment feels different with Maya fully here. Not tense, not expectant. Just inhabited. They sit on the couch, close but not tangled. Maya reaches for Christine's hand openly this time, fingers threading together like it's the most natural thing in the world. I don't know exactly what this becomes, Maya says. But I know I want to find out without hiding. Christine squeezes her hand. I'm not looking for certainty. Just presence. Maya leans in, rests her head against Christine's shoulder. The weight is familiar and new all at once. Christine breathes her in, coffee, wool, the faint trace of citrus that has already begun to feel like home. Time stretches. Evening settles. The heater hums steadily this time, committed. They don't make promises they can't keep. They don't rush into definitions. They let the choice live in their bodies first, quiet and real. When Maya eventually lifts her head, she smiles. Not the bright, careless smile from before, but something deeper. Thank you for waiting, she says. Christine shakes her head. Thank you for arriving. They sit there as the light fades, hands still joined, the future unspoken but no longer avoided. Some truths don't arrive like lightning, only like warmth slowly gathering where fear used to live. How much of love is choosing to be seen even when the seeing changes everything? If this story stayed with you, you're welcome to leave a part of your truth in the comments. And if stories like this, tender, intimate, and quietly brave, feel like home to you, you're welcome to stay with Secret Garden Stories. Thank you for being here.